Very well, hey, little sukkah. What is the obligation? How do you fulfill the obligation of sitting in a sukkah? So we'll go to the Peirush. You should eat and drink. And dwell in a sukkah. Kol shivas hayomim. For all 7 days, both by day and by night. Just like he dwells in his house. The rest of the year. The Mishnah cites sukkah. Then we're learning Zeo Shov Shivas Yomim. It says in Sukkah Shivas Yomim, which says by the 7 days of Meluyim, he's liable at night as well. Chol Shivas Hayomim, all 7 days. Oisa Adam is Beisoi Ahoy Vesukos Keva. A person makes his house temporary, and his sukkah the permanent place where he dwells. That's the main place where you dwell. Well, Shenema, as it says in the Pasuk, Sukkah Teishu Shivas Yomim. You should be dwelling in a sukkah 7 days. Ketzad, how does he change his house to be temporary and the sukkah permanent? The vessels that are nice and the spreads, the sheet spreads or the bed spreads or the carpets, you take them out besukkah and put in the shiur and good cups of wine for drinking, such as we would call it today crystal, and koisos and glasses besukkah and the sukkah. But when it comes to the vessels of food, such as pots and dishes that have been used, chutz l'sukkah, outside the sukkah. Ha-menorah b'torah sukkah, if he has a menorah, it should be in the sukkah. But if it's a small sukkah, he's afraid that the sukkah might go up in flames, therefore he keeps it outside of the sukkah. The Maggid Mishnah cites Sukkah 28b. The Gemara adds, he eats and he drinks, and he also metayel, he tours in the sukkah. That's where he spends his time. And Rabbi adds, the vessels of drink are in the sukkah, the vessels of food are outside of it. Rashi explains that vessels of food means the pots or the spits, not at the time of eating. That person doesn't use it for the feast, for the suda. You take it out because of the honor of the sukkah. You wouldn't keep it dirty plates even on your dinner table in the house. So Rashi explains that the plates outside of the sukkah refers to after they ate in it, and the Maggid Mishnah adds that the same applies to the pots and the spits. For example, if he roasted a turkey, you would bring him in on the spit and then take it out. Maggid Mishnah explains the menorahs in the sukkah. They're talking about when it's not burning, because the Mishnah cites that shraga is a candle. Amrilo b'metalalto. That there are those who say that you bring it in with a candle, and those who say you bring it in without the candle. Chutz l'sukkah. V'loy pligi. If it's a large sukkah, then you bring it in. If it's a small sukkah, you have to take it out. And Tosfos explains you can't leave it there when it's burning because the sukkah tana is only 7 by 7. And we're afraid that it'll get burnt. And he refers from Sukkah 2048a that somebody wants to eat in a sukkah on the Shmini Atzeros, he has to make a posel, and he puts in it a candle. It doesn't say he brings in vessels of food. As we see, the bringing in a candle is only a candelabra, rather, is only when it's burning. The Rambam writes that on the Shmini and the 8th day, if it was small, you put it in a candle. He doesn't say you light it there, and that's maybe was the text in his Gemara, or maybe he's of the opinion that when he says lighting it, it doesn't mean specifically so, but he brings it in, and then it could be when it's burning, you can bring it in even to a small sukkah to use it for the light, like any other food item that you use it, you bring it in, and only if it's not burning, you should not bring it into the sukkah the small sukkah. Lecha Mishnah says the Maga Mishnah that you should bring it in when it's not burning, because if it's burning, even in a small one, you need it. Just like the food items that you need the dishes to eat on. The Tosis pushes off this answer, and the question from you light in it the candle to make it posel on Shmini Atzeres. And according to the Maga Mishnah, you can say they were talking about it, he puts it in without lighting it, or he's lighting it without need, which you cannot do in a Sukkah Ketana. Thus we see that according to Tosis and Sukkah Ketana, you don't bring it in a candlelight when it's lit. According to the Rambam, you don't bring it in only when it's not lit. If it's lit, it's permitted because you need to have the light. Shulchan Aruch in 639, it says the halacha is how do you sit in a sukkah? You should eat and drink there. There are more ads and sleep and tour, and you should be in the sukkah all 7 days, both by day and by night, like he does so in his house the rest of the year. The Mishnah Berurah adds that if he wanted to speak to his friend, he should speak to him in his sukkah. Because the sukkah has to be like his house, what he would do in the house. And since its holiness is very great, it is correct to not speak in the sukkah things which are secular, and only the things that are holy in Torah. Certainly, he shouldn't speak lashon hara or slander and other things which are forbidden. Mechaber continues. In all 7 days, he makes his house temporary and his sukkah permanent. What does that mean? Vessels which are nice, or sheets that are nice, spreads that are nice, and the sukkah. And vessels of drinking, like cups and glasses, on the sukkah. Vessels of food means pots and dirty dishes outside the sukkah. There are more sites in the Torah that it's talking about after they ate it. The Mishnah Berurah cites Rae Gann that the cups and glasses that you use, even if they're made from earthenware, you should bring them in. And when he finishes drinking, he doesn't have to bring them out, because glasses are not considered something which are not unsightly. And the Torah explains, because a person who drinks continuously, and therefore he needs glasses. If he doesn't eat continuously. The more adds, and the words of the Shulchan Aruch, however, vessels of food outside the sukkah, it means after the eating, such as pots and pans. The Mishnah Berurah explains when you're eating it, obviously you can bring it in, even the pots itself, and pour from them into the plates. People are careful not to do so even before eating. They are afraid of the das habag and that are more stringent with pots even at the time of eating. And it could be that that's the opinion of the Shulchan Aruch, and certainly so in his house. If he doesn't bring the pot to the table and pour it in, he does it elsewhere. And if he doesn't have a vessel and he has to eat from the pot, you can definitely bring it in. But certainly, it's correct to be more stringent that the pots should be outside the sukkah at the time of eating. Mechaber continues. The menorah of a sukkah is, if it was a sukkah ketano, you put it outside the sukkah. The Mishnah Berurah explains that you don't bring in a candle of meaning the candle refers not only to the wax candle, it refers to the receptacle which you put the oil in. That if it's made of earthenware outside the sukkah, even if it's new, but only if it's covered, then it's considered a glass item, and you can bring it in. A sukkah ketano, a small sukkah, even though it's not exactly 7 on 7. Everything that has the possibility that the candle will come too close to the walls and there'll be a fire, should take it out, even if it's made of gold, the menorah. And if he's mitzvah when he eats in the dark, so he can be lenient when he puts it in something that's covered with a glass cover, or in what they used to have a lantern. If not, if it doesn't become too hot, and again they have the same problem. If it's too hot, the heat will possibly put the sukkah on fire.